The opposition's St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party is speaking out against the dismissal of workers who refused to take the COVID-19 vaccine. Opposition leader Dr. Denzel Douglas, in a video statement Sunday, said mandating vaccination is wrong and people should have a right to choose.
Labour remains staunchly opposed to forcing people to take the vaccine. Labour condemns, in the strongest language possible, the actions of those employers in our federation who have terminated employees for refusing to take the vaccine. Such conduct is wrong and such conduct is immoral. Even more distressing is the failure of the sitting government to speak out against such actions and failure to take legislative action to prevent it from happening. In fact, we will all recall that it was the Prime Minister himself, Timothy Harris, who on April 8, 2021, encouraged businesses to take such action when he said, and I quote, "We need every employer not just to say, but to insist that every employee must be vaccinated."
Dr. Douglas said vaccination should not be used to divide the people and called for better education and information on COVID-19 vaccination.
As Kittitians and Nevisians, we have always learned that we must have respect for each other's views and opinions. We have to do better to educate and inform people so as to bring all of us to the same point where the taking of the vaccine becomes a firm decision. However, we must also recognize that there are those who, for religious, medical, or other personal reasons, who are reluctant and who refuse or are unable to become vaccinated. We need to hear and listen to them. We have to listen to those with different views and perspectives. We should not set up persons who are for vaccines against those who are against or who may be reluctant to take the vaccine.
Attorney General Vincent Barron suggests provisions should be made for unvaccinated workers in the private sector to still have the ability to perform their work if they choose not to be vaccinated. However, he noted that even though the Constitution assures the rights of individuals, these rights are not absolute.
And whereas the Constitution does give individuals a certain amount of protection of their individual rights, there's also the question that these rights are not absolute. That's somewhat limited. Clearly, when it comes to matters of the state, your constitutional rights are protected up to a point, but in a number of matters when it comes to the question of private law, in terms of employment, etc., this is done in a private context where questions of the labor laws, the high courts, are where you have recourse for this matter. And as the minister said, this is a question where tripartism in our country, where the employer would have a right to provide a safe working environment for themselves, their workers, their customers, but at the same time, workers also have individual rights that they can also approach a court with.
The opposition leader said the Labour Party is pro-vaccination and pro-choice. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.